So each time I talk about metabolic syndrome, you are thinking obesity, someone who is overweight, toxic fat. Think about someone who has high blood pressure. Think about someone who has cholesterol issue. Think about someone who has the belly fat. Think about insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a major one. So link it together. If metabolic syndrome, including insulin resistance, can cause vascular issues in the penis and then lead to erectile dysfunction, what do? You should be looking at how to control or take care of what? The metabolic syndrome and the insulin resistance. So if you haven't watched my video about insulin resistance, I need you to go watch that. How to avoid having insulin resistance, which means very, very low carbs, no sugar, no inflammation, work on reducing inflammation or anything that can cause inflammation, control blood pressure, control your cholesterol. So diet, a lot of plant-based meal, healthy fats. If you're not vegan, make sure you're eating whole organic animal-based products. Okay, so vascular, that is a major one. Then hormonal is testosterone. So let's talk about testosterone. Testosterone. What is testosterone? Like I explained, testosterone is a sexual hormone that you find in males and very important in erectile dysfunction. So when we're talking about erectile dysfunction, it's more about imbalance of testosterone. It could be it's suppressed or it's being opposed by another hormone like estrogen, right? So lest I forget, let me backtrack a little bit. So age also is another risk factor for erectile dysfunction. So with increasing age, especially from the age of 40, people, you begin to see complaints of erectile dysfunction. So as we age, the risk for erectile dysfunction also increases. So you can place yourself either in vascular, the age, the lifestyle habits like smoking, too much of alcohol, eating unhealthy fat, obesity, belly fat, or it could be hormonal like testosterone that I'm going to be talking about, or it could be a penile injury like a trauma to the penis. It could be psychogenic like we explained, depression, anxiety, relationship issues, or performance anxiety, or it could be medications like I explained about thiazide, water pills, or it could be other chronic medical conditions, the metabolic syndrome, the insulin resistance. So all this, you should pick all this and place yourself, trying to find out where you belong so that you know the root cause of erectile dysfunction. All right, so testosterone is usually low in someone with erectile dysfunction. So the plan is you need to find out habits or things you can do to improve testosterone. So whatever competes with testosterone or suppresses the level of testosterone, you should take that out of your lifestyle. So you can implement all this that I'm gonna tell you. So you can do this. There's no harm because this is food and these are habits, right? I'm not telling you to put a medication in your mouth because you don't even know the level of your testosterone. But these are habits, these are food that you can even use to boost your libido. So not basically treatment. So this is to boost, also boost your libido and also add on to treatment when you see your urologist. Okay, so number one, cortisol. Cortisol reduces testosterone in the body. Cortisol is a steroid hormone, right? Your body produces cortisol. Remember when we talk about flight response, like when maybe you hear like a gunshot, right? When you hear a gunshot, cortisol is one of the stress hormones that gets released in the body. Early in the morning also, cortisol is also another type of is also released early in the morning. So when you have a high level of cortisol being sustained for a longer time, it can reduce testosterone. So what are the things that can cause an abnormal level of cortisol? Number one, stress. Check your stress level. When you have, if you're going through a lot of stress, that's why you hear when men, if they're going through a lot of stress, they're not able to achieve any erection. Stress because of the cortisol. When the stress level is high, your cortisol is high and your testosterone goes down, and erectile dysfunction is erectile performance is low. Okay, check anything that brings stress in your life, take that out. Another one is insomnia. When you don't sleep a lot, your testosterone drops. So when you're not getting enough sleep, at least that's 7-8 hours of quality sleep every night, and also in a dark room, not with light. You turn off the light to get a quality sleep, because you might be sleeping, but you're not waking up well rested. So when you wake up, the cortisol level is also high, which is also stress. Your body is stressed, not well rested. At that time, your so when you're not getting enough sleep, your body is stressed out, cortisol is high, testosterone is reduced, erectile function is also reduced. So let's talk about any other thing that can affect testosterone. Let's talk about food. GMO food, genetically modified food. Let's talk about animal food. So there's a huge debate on this one. So I read a lot of research, a lot of studies that said if you have erectile dysfunction, go vegan. Don't eat any animal food. And I understand why, because a lot of the animal produce we eat are injected with hormones, with estrogen. And estrogen is one hormone that opposes testosterone. When the estrogen level is above the testosterone in males, then you have low performance. So if you're someone who is always eating fast food, meat, chicken, you see this chicken that are so swollen and heavy. Like, let me speak to my people back in Africa. If you're fond of going to big, huge supermarkets where you buy frozen meat and you love it, it's so heavy and fat, that's hormone, that's estrogen. You're actually opposing your testosterone, you're dropping your testosterone, and you're heading for erectile dysfunction and low libido or low performance. So stay away from, go for organic meat or chicken or fish or whatever. If you're able to do vegan, if it's a very big issue for you, if erectile dysfunction is now giving you a very stressful life, it's even advisable to go vegan to take care of it. But if it's here and there, not affecting your quality of life, so try to get food, homemade food. Go for organic chicken, eggs, milk. So a lot of milk, animal produce, okay, has a lot of estrogen. They have estrogen injected just to make the meat or the egg or the milk look very appetizing, which is unhealthy for you, especially if you have erectile dysfunction. Those estrogen in that food is opposing your testosterone. It's not only making your performance and libido low, it can also cause infertility. So you should think about that when you're buying your meat, where you're getting it from. Go to a place where you know you're getting the chicken or the fish fresh, grass-fed, no hormone, no artificial whatever in the meat. Okay, and then there's another controversy about soy. I know a lot of people, if I came here, if I was doing this video, say 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I'll say, oh, don't eat soy. It has estrogen. Estrogen will make you impotent, or it can increase your risk for cancer, like prostate cancer. But now a lot of research, a lot of clinical studies that have shown that soy is actually healthy for you. And the reason why there was a debate on the estrogen in soy, remember soy has estrogen. Then back 4 or 5 years ago, they thought the estrogen in soy affects makes the estrogen in our own body high. But they found out that the estrogen in soy plant is phytoestrogen. It's a plant estrogen and different from the estrogen that our body makes. So you're free to take soy. Even there are clinical research trials that I've seen that recommend soy milk for those who are fighting cancer or to prevent cancer. All right, and that's about food. So let's talk about another thing you can do to increase or put your testosterone at the optimal level. So eat healthy fats. Healthy fats like olive oil. Remember, testosterone it's a fatty compound. It needs cholesterol to make testosterone. Our body makes its own cholesterol. So if you deprive yourself of fat, you are reducing the content of testosterone.